welcome to Thursday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where after the fireworks of yesterday's puzzle by GDC, a tough act to follow, who better to attempt to do that than James Sinclair, whose puzzle this is on the screen. It's called Evening Shade. I don't know why, but I do know that loads and loads of you have recommended this to us. Apparently it's wonderful, and there is a night's move constraint today, which is something I will no doubt quickly forget. Anyway, I'll read you the rules of this in a moment or two. It's got 2 stars out of 5 for difficulty, I want to say, and I think a 99% approval rating on Logic Masters. So we've done our very best to come up with something that can hold a candle to GDC's genius yesterday. If you haven't checked out that puzzle, you must have a look at it. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. What did I want to tell you about? Well, it's the 1st of August, isn't it? And that is a very big day if you're a patron of the channel over on Patreon. If you're not, do consider joining us there. It's a couple of bucks a month to become a member of our Sudoku Club. And on the 1st of every month, we release a brand new competition. And this month, it's puzzles by Skojo, Jojo, and Jobo, who I think go under the sort of combined pseudonym of Skojo Jobo, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, they have come up with a Sudoku hunt themed on clones, and it is really lovely. So do check it out. It should be live already, actually. It should have gone live at 4 PM UK time this afternoon. So it's already there. I suspect some clever people might have finished it already. Yeah, by the time this video goes live, you'll have had 4.5 hours. Yeah, probably someone will have finished it by now. If I remember, I'll tell you tomorrow whether anyone did get through it by in that time frame. We have some very, very clever people who watch the channel, so I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, that is over there right now. Do check it out. Other news. Oh, I've got birthdays. I'm still catching up on birthdays. Apologies, I'm still on my laptop. I'm still endeavouring to make sure that we bring you 2 videos every day, as we have done since the start of the first pandemic. Let me look at my list. Okay, let's start with Melissa. Melissa, you turned 60 back on July the 20th. And I know this because your partner Marilyn wrote to us and told us that you've been watching for 4 years. So almost, well, that's basically, you know, since we've been doing 2 videos a day. So Melissa, thank you so much for watching. Have a very happy, I hope you had a very happy 60th birthday. I hope you had chocolate cake. Next, I think this is a birthday today, actually. Phil, from your spouse Lex. Phil, I know you've been watching for a while, and the 2 of you do try puzzles together, especially if it's thermo puzzles, where Lex likes to get involved. And Phil, your favourite puzzle is Crop Key. Oh, well, actually, if that's true, there are some dots in this puzzle that we might be able to send you as a birthday present. So, Phil, happy birthday. Next, another late birthday, I'm afraid, to Becca, from your friend Josh. This is for the 24th of July. I think, Becca, you've recently moved overseas to Scotland, so I don't know where you were before that, but I know that Josh is he's delighted that you can still play games together now. And Becca, I hope you had a great birthday. Next, Dante in North Carolina turned 15 on the 27th of July. I will catch up with the birthday soon, honestly, but Dante, I hope you had a great birthday. And then finally, another only slightly late birthday, this one, to King. King, your nephew Pierre wrote to us. I think the 2 of you are in Asia, if I'm not mistaken, and said you'd appreciate a shout out. So King, I hope you had a brilliant birthday with chocolate cake. And with that, I will close my puzzle book, at least until I get back to the beach later, and I will try and solve for you Evening Shade by James Sinclair. These are the rules of the puzzle. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we have to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Cells separated by a knight's move in chess cannot contain the same digits, so let's imagine this square here was a 1. Now, if that was a chess knight, it could bounce to all of those cells there, and therefore none of these green cells could contain the digit 1. Obviously, these digits can't contain the digit 1 either. All of the sort of normal Sudoku digits can't contain the digit 1. But in addition, none of those green ones can as well. Next, we've got region sun lines. Box borders divide each blue line into segments with the same sun. So what that's saying, let's look at this line because that seems to be the longest. So box borders, that's the 3 by 3 box borders. Divide the line into segments. So let's do that first. And then we can think about what it might mean. Oh, no, don't use that colour. Let's use that colour. Let's use that colour. Let's use that colour. Right. So what we're told is that each of these segments has the same sum. So the 2 digits that are in purple sum to the 3 digits in green, sum to the 1 digit in red, sum to the 3 digits in grey, sum to the 2 digits in yellow. So hopefully that's clear. Quadruple circles. A digit inside a white circle must appear in one of the 4 cells surrounding that circle. So in that circle, or in this 2 by 2 here, there must be a 1 and there must be a 6. And then digits in cells separated by a smaller white dot are consecutive. So these 2 digits are consecutive. So if this was a 2, this could be a 1 or it could be a 3 in order to be consecutive with the 2. And they are all of the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm starting there. That's got to be a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. And this, okay, but that's got 1 and 6 around it. So this one is not 6. And we're off to the races straight away. Okay. I was about to then say, well, yeah, okay. So when we had the shading of the region sum line, you could see that these 3 digits summed to this digit. And that forces this digit actually to be at least 6, because the minimum these could be would be 1, 2, and 3. But now we've actually learned it's a little bit higher than that. What on earth is going on here? Why can't I see what to do? It must be the region sum line, I think. Maybe there's a reason this can't be 7. So 7's a little bit interesting because 7 only has there's only one 3-cell sequence that can sum to 7, which is 1, 2, and 4. So if this was 1, 2, and 4, and this was 1, 2, and 4, does that break something? There's a knight's move as well. Does it? It might well. No. I can't see why it would. So what I'm trying to envisage is that pattern. And I'm trying to think about whether or not that causes me a problem. I mean, it would put 1s here, it would put 1s here. I'm not actually seeing anything much more than that. I mean, all this blue line thing is saying, and all this blue line is saying those 2 digits are the same digit, I think, which means they go in one of those squares. These 2 digits go in one of these squares. That's just Sudoku. 3. No, there's something very fundamental I'm not seeing here. Is it knight's move? Oh. Yeah, maybe that digit can't. Yes. Okay, let's actually just colour that one in. I can't remember what colour. I'll make it yellow. This digit is very restricted in this box, and therefore presumably this box, because of the symmetry of the blue line. Because this digit cannot go on its own in any of those 3 cells, because imagine it did. Well, if this digit and this digit are the same, both of these digits have to be 0 to make this line segment sum to this digit. So that's clearly not right. So all those 3 are not yellow. Now yellow can't appear in its column, and there's a knight's move constraint. So yellow can't appear there or there in box 4, because it would be a knight's move away from itself. So yellow goes there, which is actually on a dot. By the corollary of that is that yellow goes there. Now, can yellow... No, so it's the same point again, isn't it? Yellow can't be on this line because it would have to be accompanied by a 0. So yellow goes in both corners of the grid opposite one another. Yellow... Well, we do know this digit isn't yellow, don't we? Because we know this is a 6, 7, 8, 9 quadruple. This is brilliant. So yellow's in the middle of the grid. Because it just has to be by Sudoku now, and a bit of Knight's Move jiggery pokery, and a bit of realising this isn't yellow. So that's yellow. Yellow can't be a Knight's Move away from itself, so it's not here in row 4, and it's not there, so it's there on another dot. Yellow can't be a Knight's Move away from itself, so we're going to get all the yellows, aren't we? That's oh, yellow's in this cell. Yellow's not 9. Oh, that's really interesting. Right, I really like this. Yellow, if yellow was 9, it would be in this square. And think about these 3 digits. Well, these are a consecutive sequence. So if this is 9, one of these could be 8, but what would the next digit be? It would have to be 10, wouldn't it? 8, 9, 10, because it can't go back down to 8 again. So this over here is now 7 or 8. So actually, let's do this. All of those are in that sort of this very nice pattern. They're all 7s and 8s. This is something to do with colouring, isn't it? Because this digit, I'm just going to give it a colour for a moment. I don't know what it is. It's a 6, 7, 8 or a 9 though, because it's got to be consecutive with a 7 or an 8. But if it's a 6, 7, 8 or 9, it must appear in this panoply of digits. And we know it's not the yellow one. And we know it's not this one, which is in the same column as it. And we know it's not this one, which is a Knight's Move away from it. So those 2 squares are green. Now, can we do better than... We can do better. Again, it's lovely. Because where is green now in box 5? And by Sudoku, we can eliminate some simple cells. By Knight's Move, we can eliminate this cell, which is a Knight's Move away from that one. Now, could it be here? Now, if it's here, we know it gets transplanted by the Regent Sunline to here, where it's already in the row. So no, it can't be there. So I think green is there. Oh, is green 6? Is that what we're being told? Hang on. Green is in the top left-hand corner of box 1 by Sudoku. It can't be here by Knight's Move. This digit is 6, 7, 8 or 9. We do know, it's very likely I think that green is here, but I don't think I know that for sure. It's not here because it would be a Knight's Move away. We do know it's consecutive with yellow, so this would be a very natural place for it. Ah, no, that's not true. I was about to say that green couldn't go on the line here, but that's not true. So green is in one of those 3 squares. Green is in one of these 3 squares. I'm just going to pencil mark green's positions. If green's here, no, that's fine. Oh no, I think we've run out of knowledge of the green thingies. Okay, let's try that one then. Because the reason that one's interesting is that this one is also consecutive with 7, 8 or 9, but it's definitely not green. So it's the other one. Ah, I see. Right. Oh, I wanted to put 6, 7, 8, 9 in here. Yeah, so when I say it's the other one, this is it. Because we know that this square is consecutive with 7 or 8, it's consecutive with yellow, and we know that yellow, one of the digits that's consecutive with yellow, is green. This is not green, so that must be green, which means these 2 are not green. This one must be purple. Because there are only 2 digits ever that are consecutive. I see, yeah, it's lovely. There's only 2 digits that, think of any number. It only has 2 digits that are consecutive with it. So having identified that green is one of them and purple is the other, we can sort of sprinkle greens and purples around this using Sudoku to help us. because once we get green here, this can't be green, yet it must be consecutive. So that is green. This is not green. This is green. This is not green. I can totally understand already why this puzzle is so popular. It's really, really lovely. Now that's not green now. So green, well, I'd love to know where it is in box 3. If it's here, we know it's the lower one, don't we? Because we know it's less than yellow. But we also, actually, let's think about purple for a moment, because we've got a transplantation of purple to that square. So purple is this one now, because purple must be in this quadruple. So purple is that one. So we should really award this one a colour. Let's make that one, or was blue the right colour? Maybe we'll make it red. Oh, I don't like red. Maybe I'll make it grey. Yeah, that feels nice. Okay, so there, when we will go with, so sorry, my OCD makes me want to fill that in with digits as well. I know I don't need to, but okay, so now how do we take this forward? So purple is in one of those squares. We actually have to do the same. I have to do the same to all of those. Yeah. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna change horses, or change horses. Change horses. That's what I meant to say. Change horses here. Where is grey in box 4? Now grey can't be in its own row, and it can't be on the region sum line, because it's not possible to put 6, for example, in one of those 3 squares and say it only adds up to 7 or 8 once added to 2 other digits. The minimum those 2 other digits could be would be 1 and 2, plus 6 is 9. This cannot be 9. So grey is not on the region sum line. It's not there, and it's not there by Knight's move. So that is grey. So grey is in one of these 2 squares. Now we can run that argument up here as well. Yeah, we can. It's beautiful. So we can run exactly the same argument in box 2. It can't be on the region sum line. Knight's moves take care of those 2. So that is grey. Now, so now grey is in the same quadruple as green up here, which is slightly interesting. Grey is in one of those 2 squares. Obviously, if it's on the region sum, it would get transplanted down. But grey can be on this region sum line, because if grey was 6 or 7, it could be a partner of 1 or 2, couldn't it, and add up to 7 or 8. So I don't think, well, we can eliminate that one. Grey is in one of 3 places in box thingy thing. I see. Right. Yellow, we know that the digits that are consecutive with yellow, they are green or purple, and this can't be purple, so it is green, which gives us another certain green digit. Now that's it. There we go. There we go. Now green can't go here by Knight's move, so green goes there, which is on a dot, which places purple. Purple, oh, okay, so purple's now in this little quadruple up here as well. So, okay, so this quadruple, which has 1 in it, has, well, it has the 3 high digits in it as well that are not yellow. So these digits are from 1, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So that's sort of telling us that there's a quintuple in box 1. So 1 is in one of these 4, and between these 5 are all the high digits. The only one that could be one of these digits is that one. I'm not sure. Okay, what's that digit? That's consecutive with green. And green is consecutive with yellow. But this is not yellow. But, okay, but so it could be grey. It's either grey or it's 5. Because it's a 6, 7, 8 or 9. So it could be a 5. But if it's not, it's got to be the high digit that's not in box 3 already. So it could be grey. If we knew this was grey, that would be grey, that would be grey, that would be grey, that would be grey. I think that must be what we're meant to know somehow. Because it's so beautiful the way it flies around the grid. Why is this not 5? If that's 5, where is... Maybe it's something to do with where grey is in this box just by Sudoku, look. And Knight's Move, it's in one of those squares. There is a lot of symmetry, well, there's quite a lot of... No, there are breakages in the symmetry. That's not quite true, what I'm saying there. Okay. Can I get purple in this box? Very nearly, but not quite, I think. Purple, again, can't go on the region sum line, so purple's in one of 2 positions. Can I get purple there? No. Purple's in one of 3 positions. Whoopsie. One of those 3. Purple. Ooh. That's interesting. Look, purple only has 2 places to go in box 7, which does rule it out of this place in box 8. Hang on, if that's green, which it is, that's not green, is it? So green goes in the corner. That's something. That's a win for the goodies. Let's put that in. So we have got all our greens. We just don't know the nature of green yet. And we don't, maybe, no. Feels like we should be able to do purples to me, but I can't see how exactly they unwind. We know we've done all the yellows, and the greys are being recalcitrant, aren't they? They are very, very... So, hang on, so what do we do? What do we do if we're totally stuck? We have to say that... You see, it might be... maybe it's 1s then. Okay, because a 7 or an 8 here is telling us that there is definitely a 1 on both of the region sum lines. Imagine there wasn't, is the way to understand that. Imagine there wasn't a 1 here, then the minimum these 3 digits could be would be 2, 3 and 4. And 2, 3 and 4 sum up to 9. 9 is bigger than 7 or 8. So there's definitely a 1 in there. There's definitely a 1 in here. So actually, there is a 1 in this domino. Whoops. By Sudoku. And there's a 1 in this triono. So where's the 1 in column 3 is one way to think about that. Now, if there's a 1 in this domino, that can't be a 1 by Knight's Move. The other thing I was noticing, which I'll just tell you in case it's interesting, is this digit. Because that digit has to make an appearance somewhere in box 4. Let's just give this digit a colour quickly. Now where does that digit go? It's not in its own column, and it's not a Knight's Move away from itself. And this digit is not a high digit. So it goes there. And that digit is not a 1, because the 1 is in one of those 4 squares in box 1, so that digit is not a 1. So I've actually pinpointed... Right, so this digit's not a 1. So this digit is now definitely either purple or grey. And I would rather it was... Well, probably I'd rather it was... I think if it was grey, it would do damage. If it's purple, I think it does less interesting things. So these digits are, they are from 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now, so can we extend our knowledge of orange somehow then? I don't know. It might be possible. I'm just not quite seeing how to do that. What about... It might be, you know, this might be the idea of the puzzle, is that we have to chase round the low digits now. It's not impossible as a thought. Because, yeah, there are... oh, I see. Okay, there is something I can do here. I want to think about this digit, I think. Right, well, that's the digit we're going to look at next. So let's make this one blue. So let's think about let's start off by considering the nature of this digit. Well, we can see it's not a high digit. That's certainly true. And it's not a 1. So it is a 2, 3, 4 or 5. Now that means we can think about where it goes in this box. Now I don't know the answer to where it goes in this box, but I can tell you it's not here. And it's not orange. So it's in one of these two squares. But that means, doesn't it, that this digit has to be in one of these two squares by Sudoku. Now, it's not there, because that would be a knight's move away from itself. So it is there, on top of a pencil mark, purple and grey. So that actually has to be blue by sort of Sudoku. And now this is the only place for purple left in box 7. So that is purple, which means this is grey, which means that is not grey. So that was the purple one. We found purple, which means this is purple and this isn't. Which means this is not purple and this is. So we've done all the purple as a result, actually, of thinking about blue, which is weird. That one... That's really annoying. That one doesn't actually get me any progress with the greys, which is so strange. I might be wrong as well. Let me just mull that for a moment. Yeah, I can't see how to do that. Bother. But can I... Hang on, what's going on with this digit? What do I... Oh, that digit's one of these two digits. I think. Because that digit has to go here in box 4, so it's up there. Let's give this a colour as well. I'm getting very colourful here. So these two are the same. Therefore, red is in one of those. This digit can't be 1, so it is from this 2, 3, 4, 5 idea that we've been working on. These are from 2, 3, 4, 5. This is from 2, 3, 4, 5, but I haven't given it a colour yet, so maybe that's something I should do. Let's make it lime green. So, lime green isn't here. Ah, that's useful. Wow. Okay, so lime green can't go there, so the only positions left for it in box 4 are on top of red, which means that this is a red lime green double, and we can't put 1 on top of those squares anymore. So we've got a 1 in box 4 as a result of nonsenses, and the 1 in box 4 is presumably going to do something. Hang on, I haven't worked out what that thing is yet. Let me just mull this over. So 1 is now... So this set of digits by Sudoku is orange and lime green and 1. So it's that's the triumvirate that we're working with. We know that's either 5 or grey. These are the 4 high digits, so I should be able to... Can we somehow extend our colouring here? I think that's going to be the job, isn't it? I'm going to have to find a cell somewhere where we can propagate what's gone on already. This square is either blue or red by Sudoku. If it was blue, then that would be blue. I'm not sure. I haven't quite worked this out, have I? Is there somewhere... okay, this can't be 1 anymore, because if that was 1, 1 couldn't be placed in box 1, so that's no longer a 1. Now 1 is in the top row, so that's no longer a 1. And if that's no longer a 1, the only place for 1 is now there, which is going to be useful actually, because that being a 1 means I now know at long last where grey lives, and that is very important because that gives me this square as, you guessed it, grey. And if that's grey, that's not grey, so this is grey, and that means we can do that, we can do, aha! So grey is actually on the other region sun line. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by that. So we can fill in all the greys. And does that mean I know what's going on here? So I know green is consecutive with 2 digits, don't I now? It's consecutive with yellow, and it's consecutive with grey. So how could green be 6? And the answer to that is it most certainly can't be 6. And it can't be 9 for the same reason. So we've now got a green, yellow 7-8 pair. So all of the other high digits, oh, that's magnificent the way it's highlighted those. They are all 6s and 9s. Okay, let's get rid of the 6 corner mark there. But that's, okay, that's really useful and interesting, but it hasn't done it yet, has it? Is it something to do with 2s or something and these lines? If this was a 2-4 pair, so this was a 7, then we'd have to put, this would have to be a 2 or a 4. These would be 1, 2, 4. These would be 3, 5. That digit would be one of those. In fact, that's true. That's a general point, isn't it? If we think about this digit, it cannot be blue or red, because then it would rule blue and red out of these squares because of the Knight's Move constraint. We know it's not 1, and we know it's not a high digit. So this is either lime green or orange. And then, by Sudoku, this digit has to be there, doesn't it? I don't actually know if that's useful. Or, no. I see. I've just spotted where it is, because that got me thinking about this domino and whether or not if it had 2, 3, or 5 on it, I could make it add up to this. And that made me look down there. Aha! That's interesting. I can't put 9 here on something that adds up to 7 or 8. So grey, we have now discovered, is 6, which means green is 7, which means yellow is 8, which means purple is 9. Now what's that revealed? That has revealed, so yellow is 8. That's more annoying, because that gives flexibility, because 8 in 3 cells can be 1, 3, 4 or 1, 2, 5. This is a 2. Blue is a 2. Okay, so we can do something with that. Look, we can write blue 2 in. Therefore, there's no 2 in anything that is either orange or lime green, which is definitely a 2 in one of these 2 squares. 2 is off the line. Is that right? Yeah, that does seem to be right. So two in this box now is not on the Regent Sun line. So this must be a 3-4 pair, adding up to 7 along with the 1 to give us the 8 that we need, because it can't be a 2-5 pair, which means this square is a 5, but I don't know whether that is lime green or red. But I do now know that orange is definitely 3 or 4. So I think we're slowly getting there. He says, desperately trying to work out whether I can propagate this any further. It might be. What do we know about? We know these two squares. I know those two squares add up to 8, and they don't use 6 or 7. So this is a 3-5 pair. And if that's a 3-5 pair, I don't know the colour of anything, but I do know. Wow, this is a 3-5 pair. So these are a 1-2-4 triple. I know that's not a 1. This is a 3-5 pair. So these are from 1, 2, and 4. So that means this digit is 3 or 5, isn't it? And the way I'm doing that is I'm saying this is either a 1-2 pair, in which case it needs 5 with it to add up to 8, or it's a 1-4 pair, in which case it needs a 3 with it to add up to 8. So this is 3 or 5. I'm not sure if I know which of those it is. Well, okay, I do now know. Alright, I now know the colour of this, because this digit is not this digit. It's not this digit by Sudoku. It's not that digit by Knight's Move. So the only low digit it can be is orange. And orange is therefore 3, because this is 3 or 5, and this is 3 or 4, and the common digit there is 3. These are both orange. That's not orange anymore. So that's, well, actually we can take the 3's out of here. That is 2, 4, or 5, I think. I might be able to tidy that up in a minute, but surely it matters that I now know what orange is. That's now 4. Orange is 3. So how do we take that forward? That's got to be important somehow. Okay, I'm going to look at where orange goes in box 5. It's in one of those two. So orange is in one of these two. There may be all sorts of ways of doing this, I think, from this point forward, but we'll try and find a way. Right, if 3 is on this line, we know that there's no 2 on the line, don't we? So this has got 1 and 4 on it, which means this, oh, that's the blue one then. So that's the blue 2 that we were sort of aware had to be somewhere. This is now not 2. So we've got a 4-5 pair, which is, oh, I see, which are red and green, which I already knew if I thought about it differently. This digit, no, that can't be a Knight's Move away from itself. The lime green, oh, it's the lime green digit now, that's this one. So that one has to now be a 5. That's the common digit there, which means this is 3 and this one is orange. Which means that's therefore orange by Sudoku. So orange is in one of 2 places in box 9. This digit is a blue 2, which means that digit's a blue 2. May as well take the low-hanging fruit while we see it. Blue, yeah, where's blue in box 5? Because of the Knight's Move, it has to go there, which displaces a 3. So we get the 2 and the 3 for the price of 1. We get a 2 in one of these squares. Can we do the 3? Yes, the 3 by Knight's Move we get. That's interesting, because we know 3 is in one of these, and it's now not in either of those. So that is, you've guessed it, the 3. So we can tidy up all sorts of things here. We can keep tidying all up. And we've got all of the oranges. And we've got a lot of the blues, the blue 2s. Can we... Yes, we can keep going with that. That, therefore that, and all of those are now 2s. Get rid of the 2 pencil mark down there. We've got 1s, 4s and 5s to place. Right, what's the what's the way we're going to do this? These are 4 and 5, aren't they? Well, okay, that's the way I'm going to do it then. By Sudoku, this can't be 4, because it would rule 4 out of both of those squares. So that's the 5, that's the 4. This is a 1-5 pair. But the 5 can't go a knight's move away from itself. So that's 5, that's 1. That's 1, that's 1, that's 1, that's 4, that's 4. You're just using the knight's move slightly there just to tidy things up. Okay, has that done it? That's 4 by Sudoku. This is red is 4, we now know. So that's 4. So red is 4, we've just discovered. So green is 5. So these squares here have to involve a 5 and a 1. And the 5 would be a knight's move away from this. So this is the 1, loses its colour, not its religion. That's a 5. Double click the 5s, turn them all lime green. Double click the 4s, turn them all red. Note that there are 4 4s looking at box 9, so we can place that one. Place the lime green in this one as well. That's got to be a lime green because I haven't got one in that box. 1s have to just go into the gaps. And that might be the solution to the puzzle. Now, the only question in my mind is also whether I've consistently done the colouring. It looks alright, let's see, yes. 319 people. James is just a machine in terms of this. He is one of the most popular constructors in the whole world of Sudoku, with great reason. That's a beautiful puzzle, isn't it? It's just lovely the way these spill out and the way that you can sort of plot them round the grid. And it's really clever to combine them with consecutivenesses as well. And then, you know, you can sort of, and that helped with getting the colouring to go further and further. It's a chromatic masterpiece. And even, oh, shade, evening shade, I see. Very nice indeed. Let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.